God damn is right. Welcome everybody to the very first episode of Rickle Me Pick, the post-show convo. This is episode 24 of Rickle Me Pick. If for those that have been following, but this is the very first live post-show conversation. Um, there will be spoilers. You know what I mean? We are gonna talk. As much in depth of this episode. We're talking season 6, episode 4, Night Family. It just aired, just came off the air about 15 minutes ago. Here on the Eastern time zone. So welcome everybody that's on the Eastern time zone. Thank you for staying up with me. Shouts out to everybody on the West Coast. What's it about 8, 9 o'clock over there right now? Everybody listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, if you're listening on Anchor, however you listen to your podcast, man, if you're listening, shouts out to you. Thank you for joining me this evening. Like I said, there will be spoilers. And with this being the very first live post show conversation, this is going to allow me later on in the week when I come out with, our regular episode of Rickle Me Pick on Wednesdays. Um, that'll be more dedicated to the Easter eggs, the conspiracies and theories, the behind the scenes. So I'll be able to go more in depth of the episode on Wednesdays, when I do the full breakdown, because I'll cover a lot of the basics here on the post show. So, whatever questions you have, whatever comments you have, go ahead and leave them. Um, like I said, man, this is the very first post show convo. We're talking season 6, episode 4, Night Family. Now, this was a fun episode, man. It was a little different. And Spencer Grammer, as a matter of fact, came out shortly before the episode dropped. Well, actually, it was like earlier in the day, if I was not mistaken. But Spencer Grammer, for those that don't know who Spencer Grammer is, that is the voice of Summer. She came out and put out like a little message to the fans. So we're gonna go ahead, and I think I have that, if I'm not mistaken. So before we jump into the episode, we'll go ahead and watch what she had to say. Let's see where we at. Oh, I gotta pull it up, huh? There we go. So can y'all see that shit? Yeah, there we go. All right, here's what she has to say. So, as you can hear, uh, this was her favorite, one of her favorite episodes to do, because it allowed her as Summer to dip into a different genre, different style, and it was obviously a genre she favored, and that was the thriller genre, the suspense. Um, it allowed her to get into like a deeper Summer role, like a more serious Summer role, and she knocked it out the park, man. I mean, the entire voice, cast, knocked it out the park, but Night Summer, because that's what we were calling them. She had a major role in this one, as she was the leader of uh of the Night Family. So she played a major role, and Spencer Grammer definitely knocked it out the park. You could tell she was excited about this one. She really wanted to do this one, like she said, and it's great, man. Because hey, what up, Ice T? How you going, baby? Glad you could join me this evening. You know what I mean? Been a little bit. But where was I? Oh yeah. So, with this being like a thriller suspense, basically capping off the movie Severance. If you've never seen, or not the movie, I'm sorry, but the TV series Severance. If you've never seen Severance, it's actually pretty freaking dope, man. I watched it a couple episodes. When I heard about this episode of Rick and Morty, I looked up some, saying some relativity, and it led me to the show Severance. And I watched a few episodes, and it's pretty freaking dope, bro. Basically, the basic concept of it is they came up with this machine, or this subsystem, just like they had in here, to where they controlled the minds, and they divided your mind between your working mind, or your working self, I should say, and your personal self. So subconsciously you would work and do all the bullshit, but you wouldn't know it. And when you were conscious, you would be enjoying life. You'd be doing all the fun shit. You get what I'm saying? So that's basically what this episode was. And like I said, Spencer Grammer, she took the lead. What I was saying is, she said that, after the episode, either tonight or tomorrow, she's gonna have, like the process of how, they did it, everything that came to. So Wednesday's episode of Rickle Me Pick, when I do the full breakdown, the Easter eggs and all that, I'll be sure to have that footage in there. But back to this episode, man. It started off with Beth can't sleep in bed, and it was so ironic because we hear, or we've heard over the years, the whole concept of, you can't sleep, count sheep, and you lay there, you sleep, one sheep, two sheep, jumping over the moon, jumping over the fence, whatever the fuck it is, right? Or, if you don't want to count sheep, count fucking ducks, or monkeys, or crocodiles. It doesn't matter, but you're just, it's a counting process, you know what I'm saying, to get your mind fucking just rocking and rolling and shit. You know what I mean? But the irony in it is, she can't sleep, so she's counting sheep on an app on her phone, which we all know, I mean, scientifically proven, like, being on your phone before you go to sleep alters your sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, being on your phone, or doing something active, like on an electronic, is not good for you. It does interfere with your sleep. They say usually like an hour or two before you go to sleep, you should put your phones and your computers and all that shit away. I mean, none of us probably do. I know I don't, but you know what I'm saying? They say it does interfere with your sleep. So, she's counting sheep on her phone. I thought it was fucking hilarious, you know what I'm saying? Because the irony in it, um, one major pun in this episode constantly was, mm, Rick's and Morty's abs. Fucking Rick comes in the beginning of the episode, stonewashed abs. Morty was obsessed with him. Throughout the entire episode, Morty just constantly, Night Morty is just constantly working on Day Morty's abs. Uh, it's actually funny to me, man, the whole ab situation, because I feel like it goes back to, like, was it season 5, when they fought when they were on the train, when they were on the dream train and shit, and they fought the tickets please guy, and then they fought the train conductor, and they all had the super ripped abs with the cum gutters and shit. I feel like Rick and Morty have been obsessed with the whole ab situation since then. And as you can see, Morty, nudged Jerry on the shoulder. He's like, hey man, check out that, and that was the whole thing. They actually created, after Morty got his abs, him and Rick actually created a podcast in the show called Fabsolutely Abulous. And it's just them talking about, bullshit, you know what I mean, workouts, about them and their abs and shit. Morty's over there fucking shooting, or shooting fucking bowling balls into the air off his abs. So it was just ridiculous. You know what I mean? The whole ab concept, it was just fucking ridiculous. Um mm, one thing I did notice, in this episode, in the beginning, right? Uh in the beginning, when they're at the table and Rick's telling him about the machine he has, um Morty asks, hey, can I use it? And he tells him no. And Morty just like, oh man, whatever, right? And then Summer asks, and he tells him no, and Summer just gives him the guilt trip. Now, I could be mistaken. I'm gonna go back and watch the first 2 seasons, but if I'm not mistaken, these are the same guilt trips that Morty used to give to Rick, and Rick would give in, right? Because Morty was his guy. But as the last couple seasons went on, we see that Summer, I'm not gonna say she has a better relationship with Rick, but she has just as tight of a relationship with Rick as Morty does to this point. I think he trusts Summer a lot more. Um, I think Morty to Rick is a great companion, and I think Rick appreciates him, and he does, love his companionship. Because the whole, it is based off Rick and Morty. You know what I'm saying? The whole universe they live in. But I do think he doesn't trust Morty like he trusts Summer. I think Summer is his go-to every time they have a situation or every time they get into a situation. He always has a fallback plan for Summer. Anytime something goes down, Summer is his go-to. And this episode kind of shows the guilt trip that Summer gives, and Rick just, he's just like, all right, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's done it a few times now, and it's becoming more and more obvious that Summer has that emotional, or he has that emotional attachment to Summer now, just like he does Morty. What did you say? Oh, yes. Yeah, man, we can't forget about the Jesus episode, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, that's right. Because Jesus came out with the super cum gutters too. That's right. So that was 3 motherfuckers in that episode. You're right, Jack. Fuck that is right. That is right. It was the ticket please guy, the conductor, and fucking Jesus, man. My bad, man. I didn't mean to say fucking and Jesus in the same sense. I guess that's kind of fucked up. Anyway, man. So let's see. So they all pick their own things, right? Beth wanted to become a better musician. She's banging it out on the trumpet. Um, no pun intended. Uh, Summer is like fucking super fluent in Spanish. Like she's actually running for fucking class presidente now, as she would say. Mm. We already said that Morty's over here getting the super ripped abs. He wants them washboard fucking abs. And Jerry decides to do what a Jerry would do. And he decides that what he wants to do with his night self is basically create a pen pal with his day self. So his night self and his day self are sitting here writing notes to each other. And the whole basic rebel was all because Night Summer wanted the Day family to rinse their dishes. That's it. All she wanted the Day family to do was rinse their dishes. And Rick was just like, man, fuck that shit. Like, that's just not happening. We're not doing shit they say. Like, they're the workers. We're not making shit easy for them. Like, that's the whole concept of this shit. Like, it's for them to work and for us to enjoy it. So the Knight family fucking rebelled, broke every dish. Rick and the Knight family went back and forth. And obviously, Summer came out with the upper hand because she went from, night to day. You know what I mean? She took over the day and shit like that. Now, it's also funny to me. We come to the end. And like I said, this whole thing is about washing fucking dishes or rinsing out your dishes, right? We come to the end of the episode and they get into this whole fight and they're turning from fucking day to night because they keep knocking themselves in and out of consciousness. And and fucking the last day person is Rick. The rest of the family's turned into night at this point. You know what I mean? And they're holding him down, and all he has to do is be like, you know what? Night Summer gave him the ultimatum. Look, I won't fucking, you know what I'm saying, turn you to a night Rick and keep you as a slave if you just rinse out your dishes. Then we go to the next scene and we see Rick as a fucking night Rick. So obviously he refused to wash his fucking dishes because it was just that much of a fucking point to prove that he was not going to make anything easier for the fucking Knight family. So I do blame Jerry in a sense. I do blame Jerry in this, but I'm gonna have to fucking say Rick has probably the most blame in this episode. You know what I'm saying? Like he probably does. But he said I was thinking Jerry was gonna try to get some advice on his relationship. You know, you would think so, right? You would think, but you know what? That's Jerry for you. You know what I mean? Like think back, like for instance, think back like the Mr. Meeseeks episode, right? You know what I'm saying? When we first got introduced to the Meeseeks, right? Jerry used the Meeseeks to help try to improve his golf game, which went horrible, right? As we've seen, because that's what led to the whole Meeseeks fucking trying to kill him because Jerry sucked at golf. And Beth used the Meeseeks reasonably to it was season 2, as a matter of fact, to get advice on her relationship. Remember? She sat there with the Meeseeks, and you know what I mean, and she got advice on a relationship and shit. So obviously she used it consciously. She used it the right way. You know what I mean, or a responsible way, I guess you would say. Jerry had that opportunity this time. He had that opportunity, but instead he decided to fucking try to be best friends with himself because he's that pathetic. You know, he really is just that pathetic. It's not even a shock. Like I would have been more shocked if I seen Morty fucking trying to befriend his night self. I'd have been like, damn, Morty, really? But yeah, it comes as no shock that fucking that's what that's what Jerry decided to do, man. Um, one thing I obviously noticed, man, that beer is so fucking good tonight, man. One thing I obviously noticed was you know, like they do in every episode, they throw a little cheap shot to Marvel. I'm sure there's probably more. I'm gonna go watch it again, obviously, like 20 times before Wednesday when I come back with the full breakdown. But one thing I did like seeing the little cheap shot they threw to Marvel was he was talking about Rick talking about his raccoon. He got a shirt with a raccoon on it, and he was like, "What's his name? What's his name?" And Morty was like, oh, Chewbacca." We all know he's talking about Rocket, but fucking the fact that they always throwing the little jab at fucking at Marvel, man, that shit was fucking funny. True, seen Jerry's growth as a character really has changed. You know, he's still a pushover. That's always gonna be him. He's still spineless. Um, but you know, this is a different. It is a different Jerry. It's a I guess in his own way, this is a more aggressive Jerry. That's not saying much, but you know, like I said, in his own way, this is a more aggressive Jerry. Um, Also, I'm curious now that we see that Rick has done upgrades to Jerry for like self defense or things of that nature. Even like watching next week's episode, if you watch the preview at the end, we see Jerry has like a built in assistant uniform programmed into him. You know what I'm saying? So obviously Rick has, because he has admitted to it, he's built upgrades in Jerry and he's built like add-ons into Jerry. So I'm actually curious to see later on in the episode or later on in the series, like some of those upgrades, how they enhance Jerry. Do they enhance him in a positive way or what? You know what I mean? But I'm curious to see how or what kind of other upgrades Jerry may have because he has matured a little bit, and I come to realize too, in probably like the last season and a half, Rick has he's become a little easier on Jerry. You know what I'm saying? Jerry doesn't. I would say Jerry doesn't discuss Rick as much as he did in prior seasons. You know, like in the first couple seasons. I guess that's the way to best put it. Yeah, yeah, Jerry is trying to be the next Iron Man, but he's definitely falling short on that, you know, on that aspect, you know what I'm saying? On that spectrum, he's definitely falling short. um since we're since we're on since we're on the topic of Jerry, right? There was two Jerry moments in this episode that really stood out amongst anybody. Um, which is not surprising, man. Jerry does take a lot of episodes, man. Jerry has a lot of classic quotable moments in a lot of episodes. And this episode was none different. Um, the first one was when they're towards the end of the episode where they're all fighting, and it's Jerry, Beth, and Morty in the vehicle at the time, and they're being chased by Rick and Summer, right? So everybody in the vehicle is Day. It's Day Beth, Day Morty, and Day Jerry. And then Morty ends up getting like hit with the window or some shit like that. Or I think he gets shot with one of those things, with one of those syringes, and he ends up turning into Night, right? And he starts like choking out fucking Day Jerry, right? So fucking Day Jerry ends up turning, or I'm sorry, Morty and Beth end up turning back into Day Morty and Beth. Jerry remains Night Jerry, right? So all they see is like Morty yells out, "Oh, Night!" You know what I'm saying? He's Night Jerry, and they start whooping his ass. They just start beating his ass. And Jerry's like, "Wait, I'm on your side." Like Night Jerry's like, "I'm on your side. I'm on your side." And they're like, and they whooped his ass probably for a good another minute or so. And they're like, "Oh yeah, my bad, my bad." It kind of just reminds me of like the episode where which episode was it, man? When the episode that Tammy, the final episode where Tammy died and she invaded, and when we first seen Space Beth and shit like that. When they're in the therapist, when they're in Miss Chung, was it Miss Chung? I think it's Miss Chung. But they're in the therapist's office, and the Gronflamites come in there and they're holding the gun to fucking to Beth and Jerry, and fucking Tammy's talking to fucking to Beth, and they're going at it, and the Gronflamites just start whooping Jerry's ass for no reason. Like he didn't even say anything; they just start whooping his ass for no reason. That's pretty much what this reminded me of, man. Um, and the second moment, man, was probably even funnier. Was same situation. They were in the vehicle, and Night Beth starts choking Day Jerry, and then out of nowhere they look down, and Day Jerry just got just a major fucking hard on, bro. Like he's that just goes to show what kind of person Jerry is, man. Like in this fucking life threatening moment, he's getting choked out by Night Beth, and he's over here with a straight hard on, bro. Like, and they just both look, and he's just like, what you want me to do, man? Like, I don't blame you, Jerry. I don't blame you, Jerry. Let's see what we got. Uh, so yeah, man, fucking they end up staying the Night family. Um, as you know what I'm saying, once we get to the end credits, we see that the Night family, it's not all what it's made out to be, because being that the Night family has to do both jobs now, they pretty much turned into what the Day family originally was, the Day and Night family. You got to pay bills, you got to go to work, the car got repossessed, bills ain't getting paid, because that's usually what the Day family takes care of. So Rick creates a fucking machine, or I'm sorry, Rick finds a device to stop the fucking to stop the dreaming, which nothing but a revolver. He goes down, he shoots the fucking machine that he created. They all wake up and they're like, damn, like how did I get how did I get here? You know what I'm saying? And how long we been asleep? And Rick's like, oh, we ain't been asleep that long. They look, and they fucking see that the Choco Taco has been, no longer being sold. Which, if y'all remember, I think it was only like a couple weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, when Taco Bell announced that the Choco Taco is no longer going to be sold, and people went on a little Twitter uproar. So that was, what I'm saying, obviously, relevant reference, or what's the word, fucking, I don't know, man. It's a modern reference. That's the word I'm looking for. Don't mind me, man. I've been drinking and smoking. You know what I mean? And it's late, so the words are a little off a little bit. Would you say that Jerry got that Quagmire energy? Yeah, he did, bro. You talking about when he got choked and you know what I'm saying? He had, the old hard penis. Yeah, bro. That yeah, he had straight Quagmire energy for real, bro. I like I said, man, I thought it was funny as shit. Um, I'm probably sure when I go look on Reddit tomorrow, there's gonna be a couple people fucking all uptight about it.
Oh, that's nasty.
I don't really give a fuck though. But all in all, man, I think it was a really good episode. Let me see, make sure I covered everything. Oh yeah. One thing I gotta mention is in the beginning of the episode, Rick says he found a device in the Gloopy Drop system. That's the same that's the same universe. If we go back to last week with the Beth on Beth, lesbian action, um, that's the same universe they said they were gonna go get ice cream from, right? If you go back to season one, the end of season one, when did Rick get sent to jail? I think it's the end of season one, if I'm not mistaken. Um, that was the first time they mentioned the Gloopy Drop system. And Rick lied, said, "Oh, I'm gonna go get some ice cream." And remember, that's when he left his family and he let the Galactic Federation come and arrest him. So we've been the Gloopy Drop system has been mentioned 3 times. 2 times it's been mentioned for a lie. 1 time it's been mentioning that Rick went and got this machine from it. So just curious, are we gonna get to see the Gloopy Drop system sometime in the near future? Maybe we'll get to see one of those like quick interactions where Rick and Morty are coming back from it, or they just arrived in it, or maybe they're at like a store. Maybe we're kind of like where Morty got the sex robot from, how they were in that little pawn shop. Maybe we'll get a glimpse of it like that. You know what I mean? We've seen the universe that the Jerry Breeze and what was it? Damn, I can't even think of it. I think it's like something rock. I don't know. I keep thinking Fraggle Rock, but obviously that's not it. But yeah, we you know what I'm saying? They showed us a couple universes, man. Um, so I'm curious. Curious to see if we're gonna get to see a Gloopy Drop system. And basically, you know what I'm saying, the concept of this episode, man, be careful what you wish for. The family, you know what I'm saying? You would think they would have learned with the whole Snowball Snuffle situation when they wanted, you know what I'm saying, Rick to create a smart device for him, and then he ended up overtaking the family. But obviously, they did not learn. So be careful what you wish for, man. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you're going to reach, and if you reach a little too far, you might get fucked.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
It be like that sometimes, man. So, hey, that's gonna wrap up the post convo. You know what I'm saying? The post show convo. Like I said, this was the very first post show convo, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get into a little groove as this was episode 4, so we have 6 more episodes. All right, 6 more episodes. Um, episode 5 is next week, which I'm trying to if for those that watch Rickle Me Pick last season, y'all know at episode 5, I did like a halftime show where we basically broke down the first 5 episodes. We, you know what I'm saying? We said what we like. I might have the homie, I don't know, man. I might have a couple homies. I don't even want to say yet. So I might have a couple homies on here, man. But we going to definitely try to do something for the halftime show next week. But you will, you know what I'm saying? You can catch me, like I said, for the full breakdown, Easter eggs, conspiracy theories, all that. Make sure you catch me Wednesday. This Wednesday, Rickle Me Pick, episode 25. We're gonna have the full breakdown. Like I said, this was just the post show convo, so we can get a quick talk, quick interaction for everybody that's up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that wants to talk about it. You know what I mean? Just get a feel of how we felt about the episode and stuff like that. But come Wednesday, I will be back live with the full breakdown. I'll have the clips, everything, man. You know what I'm saying? we gonna do it like how I do it. You know what I mean? But until then, oh wait, before I go, man, I know y'all see it, man. Before I go, you see the new hat, right? The El Rico, bruh. You see it with like, oh, I don't even think you can see Tiny Rick on there. You know what I'm saying? That's too bright, huh? Y'all need to see this little motherfucker, man. But yeah, man, shouts out to the dope hat, man. That shit's fire, man. Um, $20 Amazon. Check it out. They may not have no more because they said there was only 3 left, but you know they'd be lying and shit. So, like I said, man, um, season 4 or season 6, episode 4 premiered an hour ago. Make sure for those that haven't watched it, you go check it out. For everybody that tuned in, hey man, I appreciate you. Everybody that's listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, or however you listen to your, you know what I'm saying, to your podcast. I appreciate y'all for listening. Everybody watching on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Like I said, this has been the post show convo. And if you're ready for the motherfucking the full breakdown, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you come back Wednesday at 11 p. Or I'm sorry, not 11 p.m. Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time is when I will have, you know what I'm saying, the full breakdown of the episode. But you know, I'll put out, you know what I'm saying, the flyers and the banners and the notifications and all that. But make sure you following me, you know what I'm saying, so you get those updates. You know what I'm saying? So you can see me on Instagram for straight Rick and Morty material. You can catch me at Rickle Me Pick on Instagram. But if you want to follow my whole universe, man, I joined the boys on Instant Replay. We talk football. For my Raider fans, we got the Black Hole Convo. Of course, for my Rick and Morty fans, we got Rickle Me Pick. And I got a lot more to come, man. But if you want to follow the whole universe, catch me at NR_originals. You can catch me on Twitter and Twitch at NR_originals. And you catch me on YouTube at NR Originals, man. Hey, it's been a blessing. It's been a pleasure. Glad I can come to you late this evening and just chop it up. But until Wednesday, like I said, until Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, this has been another episode of Rickle Me Pick. I'm about to hop outside, enjoy the rest of my evening, like this little bleezy, smoke the rest of this dreezy, and enjoy my kneesy, man. So peace out to all y'all. I hope y'all have a good one. And much love, homie. Peace.